Guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to gain billions of resources per week as a complete free to play. And there are two ways to do this. The first way is to gather resources from your farms, and both of these ways that I'm going to be showing you here today will be depending on how many farms you actually have. And before I tell you the second way, for both of these two ways you don't need your farms to be above City Hall 12. But if you want more resources than what I'm going to be showing you, you need them to be at City Hall level 16, because when it's at City Hall level 16, it can actually participate in the events. I'll show you an example right here. So we have the Realm of Mystic, and I could get up to probably 50 million resources, mixed resources, or from per farm, and I have 7 farms. But I can't play that event from these 3 farms right here because they aren't City Hall 16 or above. But these 4 are eligible to play. So that means I would only get up to 200 million mixed resources if I am actually 50 million power plus, but that's not the case. So what I'm basically trying to say is if you can get up your city hall level to 16 or above, that's great news. But if you can't, 12 is actually enough to do what I'm going to be showing you. So the first one, as I said, is gathering resources, and you want to maximize your gathering speed. So you could do that from the VIP. So there's 20% gathering speed at VIP 11, and I think at VIP 6, there's 10%. VIP 6 is really easy to get to as complete free to play in a farm account. That's really easy to do so. And the second thing is here you have research academy. So you can, what you want to do when you're researching is not just sit there and wait till it finishes or use your speeds. You want to join your main alliance. So if they don't let your farms in, what you want to do is remove your main account from the alliance and then ask the R4 or the leadership to let in your farm for this specific time, and then you can get the helps and speed up the process. So that's what I did, but there were enough spots for my farms to stay for the whole day, and I got a lot of gold checks, and that gave me enough speeds, resources, and gold keys to let me level up to City Hall 14 in this account and City Hall 12 in this. If I wanted to, I can level this up to City Hall 16 right now, but I'm waiting so that I could actually train some troops so that this can gather gold. So when you're actually creating new farms, what you want to do is at least have 20k T1 siege so that it can gather gold until you level it up to City Hall 20 or 21. Just gather gold on it because you won't have enough speeds or resources or troops to gather the resources that you want to have. And you can't achieve the amount of troops you want to get because you're spending your speeds on leveling up your city hall. And the second most important thing to gain resources is actually barbarian forts. And I'll show you an example of what I mean here. So we have a level 5 barbarian fort right here. And if you defeat it, you gain 40 level 2 resource points. And this can get you anywhere between 200k mixed resources to all the way up to 400k mixed resources. It's per fort, and you could do 20 of these forts from per account. So let's just say I have 7 accounts and one as main. So if I launch a rally with my main account and then let all my other farms join into that rally and attack this fort, then I get 40 of these chests on all of my farms and my main. So that's 320 chests right now. And that means I could get up to 3.2 million resources or 1.6 million resources per fort. So that comes up to 32 million resources per day or up to 64 million resources. So the range is anywhere from 32 million resources or up to 64 million resources per day. And that's by only having, you can see, 8 accounts. And if you have 10, or you do level 7 or level 10 forts, you could see There's this a level 8 here, it's 52. So it increases the amounts of resources that you're getting. And obviously, I don't expect you to have level 14 or level 12 accounts like I do. I expect you to have at least level 16 or 17, and that makes you able to at least gather 5 to 6 million resources a day from each of your account. So overall you can get up to I'd say roughly 180 million to 200 million resources per day if you have 10 or 8 to 10 farm accounts, and I'll show you the math behind it as well. I have prepared a table as well, so let's see that now. So here you can see the number of resources in millions that you could get per 10 farms that you have. So every 10 farms that you have, here are the resources that you could get. If you have 10 farms, you could get minimum resources of 60 million mixed resources or up to 120 million mixed resources per day. And if you have 10 farms, I bet you can gather 8 million resources per day from each farm, making it at least 200 million resources per day. And how did I come up with 60 million resources minimum a day? So you do 20 barb votes from 10 accounts, and that is 200 barb votes. You times that by 60 chests, which is 1200, and then times it by the lowest possible amount of resources you could get per chest, which is 5k gold, and that gets me 60 million. And if you times it by the highest amount that you could get, which is 10k resources per chest, that gives you 120 million resources per day. And remember guys, this is mixed resources, so it's not one particular type, so you get every single resources, and it's actually quite worth it to do so. It doesn't take you a lot of time, maybe 15 minutes to do 10 fourths probably. No, 15 minutes takes like probably 3 fourths, so I'd say roughly 2 to 3 hours and you have 200 million resources. It's that simple and easy. So if you have 20 farms, you can get up to 240 million mixed resources per day. And I'd say you can gather 160 million resources easily per day from your farms. So that makes it 400 million resources. Same goes for the 30 farms, 360 million resources, and I bet you can gather 240 million resources. So that would make it 600 million resources per day. So imagine this in weeks. If you have 10 farms, let's say that's 1.4 billion resources. And if you have 20 farms, that is roughly 2.8 billion resources. And if you have 30 farms, I think that is wait, let me calculate. So that's 600 million times 7. So that's 4.2 billion resources. So you can see you can gain up to billions of resources by just doing barbarian forts from all of your farm accounts. So this is so simple and easy. And I suggest you to do this as well, because if you actually do this and implement this, you wouldn't have the problem of resources anymore in KVK. So this is actually really important to do so. And I plan on doing this from probably next 50 days onwards, because I'm in KVK, so I can't come back into the home kingdom and do so. So yeah, now get back onto the account and I'll show you how it's possible to do these votes when your farm is in Lost Kingdom as well. So let's get right into it. You do when your main account is in Lost Kingdom and you can't teleport back every single day to do those 20 rallies, because then you're missing out on chaining honor and a lot of things, grinding honor, doing barbarians, and getting speeds, gems, and a lot of things. And so, what do you basically want to do when this happens is try to level up one march or one pair to 5511, and then a maxed secondary commander which is epic, so that you could do fourth with that account, and it should be the strongest farm account that you have. And for me that is this one. It's Hemu X Farm 5. So it's at 17 million power. It has a max Lohar and a max Sansu with decent gear, one legendary piece gear, and that was crafted when my friend was playing on this account. And so what I would do is launch on a level 5 or a level 6 or a level 7 or a level 8 barbarian fort, because this account and this march is not strong enough to do a level 9 or a level 10. So level 6 or 7 is where I would stop it, and it would be risky to do level 8 onwards. So what I would want to do is launch on, let's say I launch on a level 7 and it's quite tricky situation. I don't know if I would win or if I would lose. Then I would reinforce the rally with my other farms. So I would send in troops and then so on, so that the barbarian fort is destroyed and it wouldn't cost me more AP as well. So this way you can do barbarian forts when your main is in Lost Kingdom and you gain resources as well. So enough of this. And so that's all about how to get billions of resources per week. Now let's look at the pre-KVK leaderboard, and it's stage 3. And there's one more day left and we enter Lost Kingdom on the 21st, which is 2 days from now. Actually, 1 day and 4 hours from now. 1 day, 1 hour from now. So let's look at the individual ranks. We have Ariana from 3701 with 28 million points, and then Sheikh from 2087 with 25 million points, and then Warlock from 3701 again with 20 million points. And I can't say that, we'll say EL from 3403 with 20 million points, and then we have Madame May with 18 million points and from 3701 again. So let's look at, again we have Warlock again, his second account from 3701, 14 million points, and then Miles, and then Craze. So overall from Greenwood Camp, we have one, two, three, four, five, six. Six people in the top 10 from our camp. That's crazy. And as a kingdom, we are at first by 75 million points, and it's not done yet. So we have tomorrow, and I think the training boost is at, I believe, 14 UTC. And Warlock did tell me that he's gonna push a lot more power to first place. So that's gonna be crazy. And as a camp as well, we are at first place with almost 100 million point difference. So that's all for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.